of the country or any supplementary budget. And I was wondering about the various disaster risk financing arrangements that the government has put in place. There are two statutory funds. There's a disaster fund and a national disaster fund. There are the insurance arrangements with CRIF. There are the catastrophe bonds which have been entered into and so on. And I was wondering what is the mechanism by which those resources would be made available to NARA? Is it intended to be automatic that they are the ones who expend those resources, or will it be on an ad hoc basis? I think it would be useful to have a clearer understanding of that. I turn to clause 10, and it says that the authority shall furnish the minister with such reports, returns, accounts, and other information as the minister may require. Now, supposing the minister doesn't require any reporting, or doesn't require any formal reporting, written reports, this cannot be the reporting obligation to put it on this discretionary basis. The CEO should be required to prepare semi-annual reports, which the minister should table in Parliament, and the CEO should be required by law to attend Parliament twice a year, like the Bank of Jamaica's governor is now, under the Bank of Jamaica Act, to answer questions in relation to those reports. That's what transparency demands. There's the clause 11, which deals with reporting, speaks to annual and other reports shall be prepared by the authority. And it says a copy of the annual reports and all financial statements should be submitted within 4 months of the financial year to the minister, and then the minister shall, within a reasonable time. Why a reasonable time? Why not a specific time? Why not within 45 days or 30 days? Cause those to be tabled in Parliament. There should be, as I've said, semi-annual interim reports to update the nation on the progress through Parliament of the challenges being faced, how those challenges are being addressed. There's a complete absence of proper oversight for this body. Clause 12 speaks to the need to submit to the approval of the minister by the September 30th of each year a corporate plan, an operating plan, and its estimates of revenue and expenditure for the financial year. I assume it means the next financial year. I was wondering whether this is subject to the Ministry of Finance's role in finalizing budgets in the normal way that there's a budget call and the statutory bodies, ministries, etc., well, central government bodies submit their proposals for funding, and then the Ministry of Finance essentially scours all of that and the resources that are available and decides what is actually affordable. Is that process going to apply to NARA or not? It's not clear to me from the wording of clause 12 whether that will happen. I move to clause 13 of the bill, and it says the minister may give directions to the authority. We are accustomed to seeing laws which say that the minister can give directions as to general policy to a public body within the minister's portfolio. This is not like that. These are operating directions. The directions under subsection 1 shall be such as the minister appears desirable in the interest of effective performance by the authority of its functions, and to ensure, well, I'm not sure if it's and or because that's not stated, to ensure that approved reconstruction and resilience projects and designated strategic investment projects are implemented in accordance with the terms of Cabinet's approval and the public interest. So the minister has a direct, intrusive role in the operation of NARA. And, you know, there's nothing to require directions to be in writing, to be gazetted, so that the public is aware of them. Again, all of these directions that the minister is giving in this body, this critical body, there should be transparency around those directions. There should be a report on all semi-annually to Parliament on what directions have been given by the minister to this body, so that the public knows what is going on. Yeah, I need some more.
Time has expired. Next speaker. You don't get extension.
What do you mean next speaker?
You don't get extension. I don't.
What do you mean next speaker? Blessed is the man that walketh not to the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the ways of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law do we meditate day and night. For we shall be like trees planted by the rivers of water, that bringeth forth our fruit in our season. Our leaves shall not wither, and whatsoever we do shall prosper. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Let me just take the time to
We'll allow the leader of the opposition 10 minutes, and members, for the other members, you will have to operate within the designated time period. Also, the process of turning on your mics before your knowledge means you will have to turn them off so that we can allow the leader of opposition the additional time.
Yes,
And
you're
I'm not
listening to
sure
the
who
Colin
would
Bell
have
Show.
been in the lineup.
As we come to you
Opposition
live from the studio of Portland Spice TV. We're listening to the leader of opposition, Mark Golding, his contribution to a bill tabled in the parliament by the Prime Minister, the NARA bill. We are listening to the leader of opposition tearing the bill apart, clause by clause.
To just move the motion to allow the extra time.
Turn off.
Madam Speaker, we ask that the leader of the opposition be given an additional 10 minutes to complete his presentation.
Members, the question is that the leader of the opposition in the debate be allowed an additional 10 minutes. Opposition leader,
I don't
10
think,
to 15 minutes at most.
I don't think
Those
no
in
bill left
favor?
when the opposition leader
Those
finished.
against, the ayes have it.
We continue to listen.
Madam Speaker, I don't think we should be parsimonious in allocating time to the leader of the opposition in his presentation on this bill in particular.
Leader of opposition,
Anyway,
with all
you
due
have-
respect,
you have made your decision.
all of us are required to follow the rules, including you.
No, there's a discretion in these matters.
And you got a discretion.
Yeah. So, Madam Speaker, it also says that directions under subsection 1 may require the authority to take or refrain from taking certain actions, or to refrain from adopting or pursuing a particular course of action. The minister is in a position to directly interfere in how this statutory body is performing its functions. It's the CEO is there, but the minister is the one who can really direct how it works. And that is not how we normally. And these directions are not required to be in any way disclosed. They're not even required to be in writing. But there should be proper transparency and disclosure around these directions by the minister. Madam Speaker, I was going to say some things in relation to clause 14, which deals with secrecy. I'm going to not use my time for that because I'm aware that one of my colleagues intends to speak on that issue. I move, and also the provisions on indemnification. I would only say that the way this is the wording of the clause 15 on indemnification is that if the CEO or any other employee is charged for a criminal offense, even if that person is convicted, they can be indemnified if it's deemed that they acted honestly and in good faith, and that taxpayers have to pay the legal fees of that convicted criminal. That is bizarre, to say the least. It's bizarre, to say the least. Madam Speaker, Clause 17 talks about approved projects. And it says that the authority shall develop programs and detailed plans, including project scope, delivery arrangements, and timelines. But why does that not make reference to budgets, project budgets, to funding arrangements, and to the contractors and professionals that are to be engaged in these projects? Why are those things not included in the programs and detailed plans? That doesn't make sense to me. And it isn't clear as well exactly what NARA's role is in relation to the designated strategic investment projects, which are not referenced here at all. One thing that I noticed is that clause 18 says that programs for reconstruction and resilience shall be developed by the authority, shall state the goods, works, and services necessary, and then it goes on to say, identify all relevant persons involved in and their respective roles in the delivery of the program. And that all has to be submitted to Cabinet. And I'm just saying that this disclosure of all relevant persons, from our point of view, it sounds like it's a mechanism for ensuring that persons who are affiliated or perceived as not being on the side of the government can be weeded out of any of these projects. And, you know, to my mind, it is just a carte blanche for political victimization. And that is why it's important that the functions clause has those principles of non-victimization embodied in it. Clause 19 deals with plans, but it speaks to that the authority must...
So if you're just joining us, we're listening to the leader of opposition making his contribution to the debate on the NARA. The NARA is a statutory body that is being proposed by the government to deal with the rebuilding of Jamaica after Hurricane Melissa.
Material change of which the authority has noticed, and that is likely to adversely affect or delay the implementation of the plan. That is dealt with there. But my question in relation to that is, material changes in these approved plans should be promptly reported to the minister and should be brought to the attention of the Cabinet. Because if there's an adverse effect in a major project that is cost-related, it is vital that that information be shared promptly and should not be within the bosom of the authority when at the end of the day it's going to become something that the public purse will have to address. So I think that there should be something that deals with these material changes and the need to report them on a prompt basis through the minister to the Cabinet. Madam Speaker, since I have limited time and I have a lot more I'd like to say, but I'm not going to be permitted to do so, I just want to make a point here. There's a provision for directives that the MARA can give directives to these approving entities, which are local authorities and other bodies that deal with project approvals. And these directives are under a regime here. There's no transparency in relation to directives that are given. The directives don't have to be gazetted according to this. There's no report to Parliament on directives that have been given. So what you have is NARA effectively second-guessing the agencies of the state or bodies that are normally responsible for the approval process, imposing their own views on what the approval should or shouldn't say, and there's no transparency around that. And that should be, to my mind, and I would like to see provisions that require these directives to be made public through the Parliament. There should be a reporting mechanism on them. And I think the absence of that is a dangerous thing to build into a law of this nature. And then, of course, there are the step-in arrangements where if the authority issues a directive and the approving entity, the local authority or other regulatory body doesn't comply, then the minister can effectively step in under clause 24. And the minister may by order approve an application made, subject to any terms and conditions, vary, modify, or remove a term, condition, or qualification to which an approval was made subject, and so on. Again, we need transparency with respect to step-in orders. They should be made public, they should be posted on the NARA website, they should be included in semi-annual reports to Parliament, because effectively what this is saying is that the minister
Who is the Prime Minister?
override what all the entities that the law has established to perform certain functions or may have decided are the conditions of approval of a particular project or the decision whether to approve or refuse. There ought to be transparency in the legislation in relation to these step-in requirements. This is a very extraordinary regime. It's an extraordinary regime. There's no existing regime like it. And so, therefore, there ought to be proper transparency in relation to it. I move to part 4 of the bill. Madam Speaker, I only have a minute left. Part 4 has this provision where this bill is brought to an end. We don't know when the minister responsible for this legislation will decide that the date of dissolution should arise. But when that decision is made, the authority is automatically dissolved. And when the conception of this as something that relates only to Hurricane Melissa reconstruction, when that was clearly the purpose of this, I could understand why they would have that in there. But given that this has morphed now into a regime for facilitating the expedition of private sector projects, I'm not quite sure why we still have this automatic dissolution arrangement in it. It doesn't really seem to make sense to me. I'd like to hear why they consider that to be appropriate. And there also, I noticed where it says, on the day of dissolution, all monies which became payable to the authority shall be paid into the consolidated fund. But if you have pending or incomplete projects and all those resources now go into the consolidated fund, it could significantly delay the execution of those incomplete projects. I think there needs to be some thought put into that. And my last comments are in relation to in the schedule, Madam Speaker, there's no annual performance reviews provision for the CEO. There's no provision in terms of revocation of appointments. There's nothing to do with failure to achieve contracted deliverables or to satisfy key performance indicators. It is not the normal thing you would expect in a contract of employment with a senior executive. The provisions are more what you'd accustomed to see in relation to an officer who's holding a public office rather than somebody running an organization as a CEO. And I think that is a peculiar thing. And the last point, Madam Speaker, is just to say these provisions which allow the CEO to sign authorizations under the seal of the authority on his own and to sign contracts and other documents on his own with no oversight. Dangerous. This, from a governance perspective, this legislation is an aberration. It needs to be.
Leader of Opposition, your mic is off. Leader of Opposition, your mic is off.
Any bill left?
Time. No, members.
I don't know if there's any NARA bill left. The man go through it clause by clause and rip it up. Rip it up. There is no NARA bill left. You're listening to the Colin Bell Show on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4. Tuesdays is Parliament Day in Jamaica, you know. And coming out of Hurricane Melissa, we have serious issues. The rebuilding is not going anywhere. The rebuilding is not going anywhere. And this NARA bill that is proposed to deal with the reconstruction and do it, well, there's no quick leave because it's 6 months after the hurricane. So there can be nothing referred to as quick by the government anymore. The government has delayed. And so now, she has come out of the house now because the opposition, she ensure that the opposition leader didn't get the adequate time to disseminate the bill and tear it up. Damian Crawford is going to make his contribution. Shall we listen to him a little bit?
Mr. Speaker, I find it unfortunate that such overreach is causing for this debate to deteriorate into almost a cross quarrel. I also want to remind the House of a statement made by the member from East Portland consistently, that context matters. And a bill of this importance, I can't see why we're so hard and fast on time and the time of the leader of the opposition in particular. Now, the multiplicity of clauses had caused for the Prime Minister himself to need for adequate coverage, 2 hours. None of us here are expecting 2 hours ourselves. But the side, you're the open, you open. And yeah, okay, so 1.5 hours minus interruption. But the importance of this bill, as has been highlighted by the Prime Minister, I don't think that it is reasonable for us to have been all intervention. In fact, there was an invitation from the Prime Minister for serious intervention upon this bill. And so I find that, and I will begin in short order, but there's a problem with Parliament if the Speaker dominates the Parliament. And that is what we are having. The Speaker needs more time than the speakers. But let us start. Madam Speaker, the conversation of this bill, the conversation on the bill, should rightfully start with the objectives of the bill. The objectives I've stated within the bill are as follows: for the efficient, coordinated, and transparent management of extraordinary time-bound reconstruction and resilience efforts, to focus on building back better, to withstand future climatic and geophysical events. Additionally, it speaks to B, to create a more robust climate-resilient infrastructure, encouraging better land use and planning. C, to expedite private and public-private investment in priority sectors that address the structural economic vulnerabilities exposed by Hurricane Melissa, and to enable growth and diversification in Jamaica's economic base. Before we go outside, make us first recognize that Mr. Prime Minister, I want you to listen in particular, because I was a little bit surprised that within what the mandate was stated, that to enable growth and diversification of Jamaican economic base was found to be necessary in this particular bill under the NARA. However, the realities of Melissa are strong enough to support the bill. And because it is strong enough to support this bill, it is why I felt that it was unnecessary for exaggerations in some of our claims and conversations. Some of those exaggerations would include what is often repeated, that this was 4 times what was Hurricane Gilbert. And if we do not consider the reality of inflation and just the simple numbers, maybe we can come to that conclusion. However, the IDB indicated, and I quote, compared to the last major hurricane to strike Jamaica, Hurricane Gilbert in 1988, Hurricane Melissa was significantly more intense. Yet, while Gilbert, a Category 3 storm, caused damage estimated at 65% of GDP, Hurricane Melissa is estimated to have caused 12.2 billion or 56.7% of GDP. So without the grandstanding, Melissa is sufficient to stand on its own. And therefore, I became cautious when I read within the bill 4 times that of Hurricane Gilbert. Not very necessary. So what we have to go therefore is, what are the malice that we're seeking to solve? And your speech captured a few of the malice that we are seeking to solve.
Caribbean Radio HD, if you're just joining us, we are coming live from the House of Representatives. We heard from the opposition leader earlier, and now Damian Crawford, Shadow Minister on Education, is participating in the debate on the NARA. NARA is a bill tabled by the Prime Minister to really help with the reconstruction after Hurricane Melissa.
Realities of institutions that were too segmented, weren't working together, and that they did not qualify for the spectrum of work that was needed and the money that was needed to be spent. However, as has been highlighted by the minister, the leader of opposition, was that some of the chief entities of Bottlenecks would not have been included under this bill. So when you look at the reality that it indicates, that it does not include agencies like the NEPAs and the customs and the NAA. Those are some of the major contributors of Bottleneck. And so therefore, how is it then that this bill would not have included those? While at the same time, had they been included, there would have been cause for caution as well, because how could this entity be seeking to direct, for example, a NEPA in how NEPA should function and how it should go about its business? Indeed, Mr. Prime Minister, when we look at some of the clauses, it is reason for concern. Clause 4, for example, indicate that they can consolidate and prioritize projects. Now, I don't think that that would be the mandate of NARA. I believe Cabinet should rightfully prioritize projects. That the current bill, as is stated, the Cabinet held which projects, but the prioritization is in the arms of NARA. I believe that that is misplaced prioritization, because the general conversation among all the ministers and things, people who have to face the people in 5 years, I believe that that should have been the authority of the Cabinet more so than for prioritization, as in Section 4A, should have been for NARA to execute. Additionally, sorry? Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'll come. I will come to that. Additionally, it indicates that Section 4F that it should cause projects, programs, and plans to include standard specification requirement for achievement of climate standards, disaster resilience by works to eliminate and mitigate the adverse effects of catastrophic climate and geophysical events. Again, I believe that while they are the implementing agencies, the standards should not be set by the people who are the ones to implement. The standards should be set for them to go forward and implement those particular standards. Now, when we look at the bill indicates that there should be a central coordinating agency, and this central coordinating agency would be NARA. And some examples were given of other similar types of agencies across the world. Now, when you look, for example, at those agencies, the intent of the bill was not found in many of those agencies. For example, there are documentaries made about how poor FEMA handled the realities that was out in Katrina. There are documentaries made about that. In your own presentation, you indicated that Peru gave up on their NARA and actually implemented a second system that had a British, yes, and right, and they gave up on their NARA. Boy, when me and the Prime Minister talk, I don't want you to get in. They had a NARA system. The Prime Minister in his presentation indicated that politics intervened, and by extension, they had to wheel and come again. And then they had a second run, a bite at the cherry, and that bite of the cherry included partnership with Britain. And in that partnership with Britain, they were able to become more effective. And even though they maintained the central authority failed without the British intervention, where that partnership came between them and Britain. But we can have that debate because we don't want to finish our time. However, when it came to the bottleneck, there were some concerns within the central agency and the authority to the central agency. One of it is that they can direct and instruct and give timelines to the agencies. Now, Minister, I have some concerns about that. While it is that the large entities may qualify with the 15 million US, if it's now or 150 million US, 15 now, right? If it is that that NARA, you know, when you are disrespected, you are upset. Yet you upset me by disrespecting me. No, yes. I will do here and later, but allow me. Now, what we're saying, Minister, is that you will know that there are multiple levels of investment in tourism. If it is that the 15 million can be prioritized by instruction to NARA without additional labor or labor force within these entities, then they would have to now reverse those that would have been more than likely in line by time, so that they can prioritize that in which NARA has given them a duty for. Within this bill, or within the conversations, I heard no conversation of a NARA appointed or a person with the duty for NARA activities within these agencies. So therefore, the agency with its similar workforce would then have to prioritize NARA and by extension, deprioritize others that would have been in close proximity to being dealt with. And to that extent, there becomes a problem within that space and that reality. Additionally, it says that the NARA can carry out or secure the laying out of development areas. I thought that was above NARA's capacity. That they can carry out or secure the laying out of development areas. I believe that the entities that NARA shouldn't be able to do that. Additionally, it says lay out, construct, rehabilitate roads and buildings, and carry out such other building and engineering operations as may appear to it to be necessary or desirable in, on, over, under land within any area. I thought that is the duty of a general planning system and not NARA in and of itself. So when you say NARA can lay out, construct, rehabilitate roads and buildings, as it says here, that may appear to it to be necessary. Not appear to the cabinet to be necessary. Not appear to the parliament to be necessary. But that appear to it, to NARA. I thought that would have gone too far. And it include other things like public gardens, public amenities, carry on any business or undertaking from the reconstruction and development of any area. I thought that was too wide. Then it says in F, engage in any other activity designed to promote the development of any area. Any activity in any area. That I believe, I think that NARA is subverting cabinet's duty to the people. And to that extent, I was confused by that. I also found that the authority shall, if lawful and practicable, utilize existing capacity, resources, facilities, and systems in government, which may be appropriate, co-opted, etc., were in some cases excessive. Now, again, I wouldn't repeat the leader, but he indicated that subject to subsection 5, the chief executive officer shall be employed as such, remuneration, etc., and had duties that I feel should have been rightfully designated to a board. Now, I wanted to understand what is the negative of the concept of JAMRAC being the board, because JAMRAC's concept was these people would have been included. And I remember when I was in the ministry once upon a time, our board included multiple private sector functionaries on the entertainment board. So the fact that it is a board, a governance board, does not disqualify private sector functionaries to be a part of it. What disqualifies? What's the negative of JAMRAC actually being the board?
We're going to leave. We're going to leave Parliament. We're going to leave the Parliament right there. Damian Crawford is still on his feet, contributing to the debate. A bill entitled NARA. NARA is a statutory body that the government is trying to establish to deal with the reconstruction. NARA was announced about 4 months ago. To date, no member has been named, and it is now, the bill has now been tabled in the Parliament. It was tabled last week by the Prime Minister, and the debate is now taking place to look at the bill. The government has the majority in the Parliament that, in spite of what the opposition says, they can pass the bill, because a bill of this nature just requires a majority vote in both houses of Parliament. 2 houses of Parliament. You have this that is now sitting is the lower house with the elected members of Parliament. The Senate is referred to as the upper house, where the members are selected by 13 by the government side and 8 by the opposition. We have a call. Oh wow, my bad. Caller, sorry about that. Let me just sort this out that you can call back. Know that this phone needed some juice, so we're putting some juice in there. But the opposition leader tore the bill apart, and with his presentation, the bill has no use. He's also suggesting that the bill be put to a joint select committee of the Parliament. Madam Producer, come take this to me. Hold on, please. He's suggesting that the bill be put to a joint select committee of the Parliament that would spend time and look in depth at the bill, because this bill gives the Prime Minister, and when you hear the talk about the minister in this bill is the Prime Minister. So the Prime Minister is basically taking charge and giving himself awesome powers outside of the cabinet. So this bill is also going around the cabinet, doesn't need cabinet approval, and the minister can give direction to the NARA. So it's a real funny bill, very funny. And as the opposition leader pointed out, it lacks transparency. We see no level of accountability in the bill. And as I said earlier, it gives the Prime Minister all the authority needed to do anything as it relates to the bill. So I don't know how many people wants to going to be contributing this evening. It's already late. It's 5:38, 22 minutes going up to 6 o'clock in Jamaica, 22 minutes going up to 7 o'clock in the United States, where you're listening to us on Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4. I want to say good evening to all the people in Philadelphia, because we are now covering Philadelphia. So I big up everybody in Philly, New Jersey. Big up on yourself. We are in about 7 states in the US of A. Let's reopen the phone lines. 876-804-7072. That's the number to call if you want to participate in the program this evening. We also listen to the sectorial debate which started in the Parliament this evening. Philip Paulwell and Horace Chang made their contribution. Marsha, good evening.
Callie.
Yes, Marsha.
Evening.
Turn off the TV in the background for me, please.
No, I know them are going to get the party leader.
Yeah, man. The bill was
And
decimated.
This is how we know who is a liar from a liar.
Yes.
The man go through with a fine-tooth comb.
And you realize he walked out of the Parliament because he was upset because he wasn't given the time to finish all he had to say.
They're not getting the time. And you know, I feel them fault.
And like Damien said, Parliament is not good when the Speaker dominates.
Yeah, man. Too much, man. I feel them fault, man. I feel them. Let me tell you something. I say it already. When the lady name whenever stand up to give whenever stand up to give the white man a seat. Can't remember her name, you know. Rosa Parks.
Rosa Parks.
There's a time to take a seat and there's a time to take a stand.
Yes, man.
And the PNP in the out. This time when you talk about sit down, they are to take a stand.
Yeah,
and
man.
make some noise in this place. Things it can't continue like that. You can't have this woman just behave the way and bully her way out. See? Our husband stand up in a Parliament and take forever and tell them a whole heap of things about Nara, and none of the lawyers them where them have over for them side can't stop pure garbage demanded that have. Pure garbage. And now people are pointing it out to them. I can't talk about standing order and time up and all of them something.
It is sad Jamaica is in problem because the government side is incompetent. The level of incompetence on the government side is cause for concern. Serious cause for concern.
And the PNP is too humble. This time when the Bible says, blessed are the peacemaker, a joke that time, yeah. Blessed are the war maker this time. It's time to some war. This must stop. You can't adulate a behavior kind of way. And we are sitting on a joke never making
since you try to shut down Philip Paulwell as well.
Yes, to try that. Because Philip Paulwell did not go, you know. Because she don't want the argument about the age, you know.
No.
Because that's all right. That's if you come in from Paulwell, you know.
Yes.
We're done joking. We're joking now. Colin. Colin, no joke. We're joking. Big up your thing. Big up yourself. Do your thing.
All right.
So, Mr. Speaker, as was indicated, and I'm proud of you, you're answering it well. As was indicated, the authorities shall not make an application for a stepping without A, first obtaining independent expert advice on the matter. Now,
Yes, caller. Good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. Go ahead. Caller, go ahead, please.
Hello?
Yes, go ahead. Good evening.
Oh, good evening, Mr. Bell. I didn't hear you.
Yes.
What I want to say, when the Prime Minister spoke like this, what is he trying to tell the people of Jamaica? To just sit back and listen to what he is saying?
When he spoke like what?
When he spoke and tell so much lies about what he did and what he didn't do. For right now, we see where he is telling the people, or I don't know if it's him or his vloggers them, to say how much money they get. They must hold up a check for $500. 500,000, sorry.
Yes.
And when they come to the office, they should they are only going to get $200,000. So what is he trying to tell them? That he has no money to give them?
I don't know. I don't.
Where is the $67 billion?
67 billion?
Yes, that he said he spent on the country. And another thing again, look at the roads. Why is this man trying to let the people believe that he is doing so much and no more when he is doing nothing? The food that is spoiled, how is he going to explain that to the people?
How much food spoil?
The 8 or 10 containers of food that is dumped, I see dumped over some places. How is he going to explain that to the people?
We know, so then I'll get a whole heap of things we are going to spoil, you know, because this government is a waste of time government.
It's a wicked, uncaring government from in the 70s. From I was a little child, I've been watching this government, you know, not for the poor.
Oh God.
And this man is playing off Siaga's playbook.
You think so?
He is worse than Siaga. Siaga was wicked, but not like him.
Rosie said, Siaga love the people, Andrew don't love the people. That's what Rosie told a friend of mine.
Rosie don't know anything about love either, if she said that.
You tired. Tell her.
She doesn't know what love is.
Oh.
Because this man tried everything to keep the people down. And the people are so dunce. I heard a woman said what she was saying about some prosperity, and they must what? Like they must coincide with the government because the government is trying to put himself in the prosperity. So we must go along with it. You know that woman is a very, I don't believe that they want to go back to Jamal, you know. And I realize that this government, same like how Siaga said, keep the people dunce and you will have them running behind you.
Siaga said that?
Yes.
I never know Siaga said that. Yeah, teach me.
And last week or week before last, because as I listened to him, you know, he said the people know that he is lie and he never say wicked. The people know that he's lie and something else, and they still vote him in to serve them.
Who said that?
No. Andrew Holness, I hear him say that out of his mouth, but he say it in a code
Him
where
say it in a code.
they
Say the
Yeah,
people them
it
know
could-
say him lie.
yes,
And him
and like you just said, the people that know say me lie, I'm a wicked, I'm a this, I'm a that, and they still vote me in to serve them.
Oh yeah, sir.
But the
You know-
people them, when he's talking, them bang, 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 bang,
They don't listen.
and they don't hear what he said. They don't hear what he's saying because they don't interested to hear what he's saying.
Oh, okay.
They don't want just bang, bang the decks and make noise.
Oh, okay.
But I am trying to tell these people, say, if they don't stand up and put out their strength, they are going to die.
Yes. Yes.
They are going to die. Because if you listen carefully, you will hear. All of what you've seen is going on, Mr. Bell. It was ordained from way back.
All right.
I was reading a catalog
Mhm.
of what you call it, long time stories coming right down.
Yes.
And everything that you see is happening, it was ordained to happen. And the worst is yet to come. A
And
few
Kiro.
more months.
And Kiro.
A few more months, you see what is going to happen in Jamaica.
All right, caller. Thank you.
Have a good evening, sir.
1-876-804-7072.
Use of the standing orders to curtail the important contribution of the leader of the opposition
Hold on, the caller.
was very unfortunate. Though consistent with a growing practice of suppression of voices not supporting the government. Members of Parliament were not elected to come here to serve the standing orders. The standing orders are here to serve the Parliament.
Peter Bunting is on his feet in the Parliament.
Used to stifle and suppress an important contribution on a bill that is so significant to the future of this country, it is disgraceful. Mr. Speaker, we can begin by acknowledging.
All right, let me take him out and take the caller. Caller, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. You're live on Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4. Go ahead.
Mr. Bell.
Yes, Mr. Edwards.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Good evening. Yes.
Year by year, I know you're here about a man named Multi Perkins.
Yeah, man.
You know that he's from Portland. He's born in Portland.
I think some years, so you know, not that one, the other one. Yes,
yeah, man.
Me years, yeah, man.
Yeah,
and I remember Ronnie Tweets used to have land at Shrewsbury in a paradise. Yes. No, I know some have some connection to Portland. Yes.
I say that so as to say this, that the parish of Portland have created some great guys in this country.
Yeah, man. TP Lecky. You're talking about the present Governor General.
The Governor General is from Shrewsbury.
Yeah, man. Me and the Governor General guy same school, not the same time, but we went to the same school.
All right.
Yes.
I would love to see you follow in the footsteps of Multi Perkins. I would love that.
What you saying, Mr. Nephew?
But for you to do that, you cannot allow PNP to live in your head. And the reason why I say that, I listen to caller saying that she hear the Prime Minister say that the Jamaican people and know saying lie.
You know, you may ask her how she wish for she hear that. And she said the Prime Minister said it in a code.
Listen, Colin, when I hear that, if me ever make the mistake as a GLP caller,
cut you off.
You
Cut you off. Cut you off, nephew. I tell you.
You know, me, I used to be at the studio when, not all the while, once in a while when Perkins program finish, and he will sit down with me and we talk for hour and a half until Ilian say, she ready, you know.
Yeah.
And one thing Perkins teach me, try not to be biased. If you want people to listen to you, no matter what it costs, try not to bias. Be balanced as much as possible.
Balance is hypocrisy.
You understand?
Me say, balance. When you try to be balanced, you're a hypocrite.
Anyway.
Truth is what is important. The truth.
All right. Anyway,
yes.
I don't like how the government is allowing the opposition to take over the parliament and a dictate and I don't like it, man.
So you like how Juleta go on?
No. I am very disappointed. The Speaker of the House supposed to be the most balanced person.
No, she is supposed to be fair. Not balanced, but to be fair.
And I don't know where she get this thing every second. She cut off the mic that are warming time. If you tell her, don't cut off his mic.
She wants to be the star of the parliament.
You know, like the parliament supposed to be a place of standard where all Jamaican look forward to the more right and thing. I don't like what is happening, man.
No, man, it's not good,
and
man.
The PNP have too much power in our parliament, man.
Because the government are idiot. The government side have a set of incompetent people over there. And therefore, when you are incompetent, your incompetence is going to be on show. When you have bright people like Mark Golding, Damian Crawford, Peter Bunting, Dayton Campbell, Julian Robinson, you have people like Kenneth Russell, Isaac Buchanan, is pure bright people over the PNP side. They're going to tear them to shreds. So the bill called Nara, when Mark Golding get in it, that's why Juliet have to stop him, because there's no bill left. You know, you're the man are going at clause by clause, the man are tear you up. That's why Juliet have to say, no man, I'm my husband Billy, I do so top. Me a cut your time. Tell her!
Anyway, the Portland Spice TV is growing. It is growing. I will love to see you turn on next multi-perk in Jamaica. But don't make the PNP they might check and capture the program.
All right, sir.
Don't load that.
I don't want to be a Multi Perkins, though. I take your advice. But I don't want to be Multi Perkins. But I used to listen to Multi. But I don't want to be Multi Perkins. I want to be Colin Bell. Jesus Christ, loudspeaker. That's what I want to be. And that's why I said to the people of Jamaica, we shouldn't sit down and allow the government to remove the cap of $4.50. What the cap means, that Petrojam cannot increase gasoline or diesel price by more than $4.50 per liter per week. Now, every week they can come and increase it by $4.50, you know. But that cap mean it can't go higher than that. Since the war, every week, the price of gasoline, diesel, have been on the increase. And Darrell Vaz told us that they want to increase it more than $4.50. Must remind the people that under the last PNP administration, Peter Phillips came up with an innovation to ensure our purchase of oil on the world market with a thing called the edge tax. So we pay $7.50 per liter to insure our purchase of oil on the world market. And Ralston, correct me, that is $67.75 was the trigger. Anytime oil passed that on the world market, the insurance would pay the excess. So we wouldn't have to suffer the cost of that excess. This blind government, led by Andrew Holness, remove the insurance, but still collect the tax. So we have been paying for the insurance, but they have not been insuring the oil on the world market. So, push come to shove now, and the Andrew Holness-led administration wants to throw everything on the people of Jamaica. We must hold them accountable. We must hold them accountable. And that's why I'm saying, calling on civil society, the private sector, the churches, the opposition. And I heard Philip Paulwell mention it in his presentation today. And he said that he'll be doing the full presentation tomorrow, hoping that GIS will be carrying it. Well, we're going to try our best. And tomorrow is Wednesday. No, tomorrow my job requires me to be there. So I might not have the time tomorrow to carry it on the channel. Really wish I could, to give it more coverage, because things like these needs to be covered. So many Jamaicans are so out of touch with what is happening in Jamaica, not understanding governance and how the country is governed. And therefore, we take everything that them try push down with throat. Send you the link long time, you know. You. Yeah, man. It's too bad. It's too bad, my people.
Because if we do so, Mr. Speaker, we may rebuild the roads, we may rebuild the bridges, but we will have undermined the very institutions that hold this country together. I therefore urge this House to reject this bill in its current form, or to amend it fundamentally to restore transparency, accountability, and proper Westminster-style governance. Thank you.
Let's him not getting in, so we're going to have to call him up, because we need to talk to Ralston Hyman this evening. We are on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4, and the people abroad need to hear what is happening in Jamaica, because some people trying to paint a picture of that everything is nice and dandy, and there's no nice, no dandy. What go on, brother?
Yeah, man, we're there, man.
Yes, man, we're there. See, Mark Wallen just tear up the whole of the Nara and fling it away.
Okay.
Clause by clause, the man go through it and tear it up, because the Prime Minister is the man who is in control of Nara. A him a run Nara.
Yep.
A him call the shots of Nara. The Prime Minister.
That can't work.
That can't work, brother. Cannot work.
But you know, one thing we find amazing with the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister about the impact of bureaucracy on the economy and economic growth.
Yes.
But I'm the biggest bureaucracy up at Jamaica House.
Yes.
The biggest bottleneck. Yeah.
The Prime Minister have a super ministry.
Yeah. Where nothing can go through.
Yeah,
So
everything come under him.
Yes, I don't talk about the negative impact of bureaucracy. Him sit on the biggest bureaucracy in the whole about the country.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm take on more with that. I'm joking that man.
Yeah, man. And there's no accountability because in the bill it states that him can give direction to Nara. But him not give him writing or nothing. There's nothing to say when him give that direction and what direction he gives.
Precisely.
There's no reporting mechanism.
Right. And when I'm talking about Jamrock like Epoch, Peter Phillips never have nothing to do with Epoch apart from setting it up, you know. Him no come on an Epoch meeting unless we invite him and him no make no decision about Epoch.
Right. And the,
So,
and the Jamrock is in place before Nara. What can go so? I'll know the CEO for Nara and the name yet. Who is the CEO?
Yep.
And the CEO have sweeping powers. Him alone can sign off on a contract.
That can't, man.
Rubbish.
Come again.
Yeah, man. Listeners and viewers, this is Ralston Iman, Jamaica's top financial analyst and #1 economist right here in Jamaica and the Caribbean. Ralston, tell us what is happening to the Jamaican economy today.
Well, here a big thing where I tell us that the budget have to go recast again too. We had a conversation with the Minister of Labour and Social Security today. So I get a feedback, Colin. Yeah.
Hold on. Go ahead now.
The minister says that the original 10 billion that was projected for the roofs program, that's what the program to help people rebuild them house and fix about them house.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes.
Was based on the assessment of 64,000 persons. All right? So
Yes.
here them say now, them end up assess 113,000 persons.
Yes.
And when say now, of that 113,000 persons, 43,000 have been verified and paid. That came out at $9.5 billion.
Oh?
So that's 43. So you still have 70,000 persons left to get verification.
So you need that next 20 billion.
Well, he put it at 8 to 10 billion, but we know that it's going to be more.
But it can't. Yep. But hold on. If you pay 9 mash to 40,000
43,000,
and you have 70,000, it all come out to 8.
Well, that I tell you. So again, them say they need additional sums from the Ministry of Finance. So those are the things that we're telling you about. Yep. Only 43,000 verified, 9.5 billion paid out. So you still have 70,000 and the money done.
But
so
you
say, go ahead.
You remember how long we were saying, Raleigh, that the government should employ 2,000 to 3,000 people, put them out there in the field to do the assessment and get the assessment done? What you are saying to us now, that means the assessment has still not been complete.
Well, and we're saying the assessment is twice the amount that they originally predicted for, because they've got 113,000. And he said the original forecast was 64,000.
No go so. He told us back then that it was 130,000 people. Then him come back and tell us 90,000. We never heard 60,000.
64, yeah.
We never heard that figure. Him, and we can go find the clips. Where so early in the piece, him say 130,000 people them need to assess. Then him come back and say it's 90,000. Now we say how it come down to 90,000. So they don't know what they're doing.
Them go 130,000. So 70,000 persons still left for verification and the money done. So they need more money from the Ministry of Finance. So him say 8 to 10, we say 10 to 20. So again, it tells you about the inadequacy of the budget.
But a long time from the budget read, Raleigh. You said the budget no good. Before the budget read, the fiscal commissioner said the budget no good.
Yep.
So all who say we are criticize the government, you know. Hear the things them where we attack, see them a come to fruition, you know.
Yeah, man. This
Everything
is what
I
the
come
minister
now
said today.
saying that we were right.
43,000. Yep. 43,000 households get access, 9.5 billion, and more money is needed.
And you have
Yep.
70,000 left and you say it will cost 8.8 billion.
More. Look more like 20 billion more.
20 billion more it need.
Yeah,
And that
Yep.
cannot deal with no resilience.
No.
That
No.
was just meant, that is that now just meant to put back roof over little
Yeah, man.
roof,
Yeah,
little
man.
zinc over people's head.
Yep. Yeah, man.
Me could take a call,
Yeah.
Raleigh. Bowler.
Yes, sir, Bell and Raleigh, big up for yourself. We don't want to no brush past Andrew Collins being the CEO of NARA and general. Because it coming like the Jamaican people have to get to that brother uncertified.
Yeah, him a go name the CEO and him a go direct everything. Him, when you hear the talk about the minister, him are the minister where Mark Golding a talk about.
So imagine in a office in have one and bridging and business partner run 2 government agency. We have to deal with
Mr. Brown.
Real estate. Yeah, we have to deal with real estate. I imagine now him now I will be the CEO of NARA. I trouble this number.
Hold on, who will be the CEO of NARA?
No, me I say, imagine him go direct NARA. I say, all right, him I go appoint the CEO there.
Yes, him a go appoint the CEO and him a go direct the CEO because him can give direction to the CEO. To
There's no
the
problem
NARA.
no problem that, brother.
Yes.
That a bottleneck and corruption boil up in a one.
Yeah, man, this look like a...
We can't trust the man, brother. We don't know how he making money. We don't know if he make it legally. And then he might be the head of this is so important to Jamaica moving
and then
forward.
hold on, hear this one. There is an indemnity to the CEO of NARA in a rally. If something come up, and even if the CEO is found guilty, it can be indemnified, walk away free, and the bill, and the legal bill have to be paid by the taxpayers.
No, that can.
What?
That can.
No. Jamaica have to rise up.
Yo,
We can't allow this to happen.
The man has set up a perfect scam in front of our face.
Mighty God.
Then that's why Juliet try stop Mark Golding, man. Juliet stop the man, you know.
Yes. Definitely. But they are class. We just want to bring that up because we don't want people really pay attention to that whole scenario there. How potentially it can be catastrophic for us as a country. Because look for CRH, Cornwall Regional Hospital, the greatest overrun of all time.
Yeah, man, the
You
mother,
can imagine what can potentially happen with NARA, brother.
the
And then
mother
them
and father of all overrun is Cornwall Regional.
God.
NARA is going to be the mother and father of all robbery in a Jamaica. If allowed to go through the way it's
No, but
constructed.
that can. No, that cannot.
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
They're class.
All right, Bowler. Where you say rally?
That cannot work.
But who
That's
will
no
stop
problem.
it, rally? Because all it needs is a majority vote in both houses of parliament.
Okay.
It don't need no 2/3.
Okay.
You don't need 2/3, you know.
That's a very serious problem. So what do people of Jamaica have to say about that?
Bona spliff, drink some rum and the girls them broke out, brother.
Okay.
Let's take another call. Caller, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. We're live on Caribbean Radio, 97.9 HD4. We have the teacher, Ralston Iman, on the line as well. Go ahead.
Good evening, Colin.
Yes, sir.
This is what happened when you use schoolboy cricket and the field testing. Anyway, hear this now. It is good that Mark Golding was given his overview on the bill and tearing it to shreds. With July trying to shut him down, I mean, no saying they have other things when they go officer.
Yeah, man.
This is the time for him to go outside of the parliament and talk about it. Throw it out there. This is the time to have a press conference or rip it to shreds. Because at that point, the Speaker of the House can't stop him.
No.
You understand? So talk about it and give the Jamaican and use scenarios. Just don't only use highfalutin terms. use scenarios and break it down for the average man.
Yes.
Just don't come there and talk parliament talk.
Yes.
Tell Jamaicans what can happen if this goes through. How it has set up people to become robbers of the purse of Jamaica. You understand?
Yes.
If they don't do it that way, then everything will fly over the head of the average Jamaican. You understand?
Yes.
So therefore, this is good. Come and watch the whole thing. And I like the contribution from the other members because they are giving their contribution now.
Isaac Buchanan is on his feet right now.
Right. Now is the time because Isaac bring up one very important point a while ago. You know. In the debate, same thing when you talk about so the Prime Minister, Isaac bring up saying 3 ministers that got involved in the NARA thing, you know. And the Prime Minister cannot be in there as the minister. He bring that out a while ago, you know, because the minister in charge. Because if you have that, then the Prime Minister has the job to make certain decisions. Then how the Prime Minister they control everything as it relates to the NARA.
The man has set it up, man. Hold on. The man has set it up, you know, and I ensure that when them take the money, the CEO can't go to prison either, you know, brother. You know, see that? The man give the CEO, the man give the CEO a get out of jail free card before the CEO. Hey, maybe never hear no like this in my life.
Colin, we are laughing about it, you know. But hear me now. You see, you just make a very valid point a while ago, you know. They can still push through the bill as is.
Yes.
Because you only take a majority in both houses to carry through. Now, listen to me. The man, them need to go. You see, just like what you just said a while ago. They need to have a press conference now. Same like how man never get a chance and go through it. Clause by clause, just the same way. Use examples to show Jamaicans and put pressure on the government to revamp the bill. Because you see, if you do that, then more persons will become aware of the things that are there. And then there will be a public outcry. Because sensible people are going to sit down and have to go pay about billions of dollars, knowing say it could have been done different if you hold people accountable.
And then, and then hear the generalship now. At the beginning, you know, the contracts were set at 150 million US. The man realized if it's 150 million US, you're going to have 1 or 2 projects going at the same time. When you bring it down to 15 million US, you can have all 40 projects going. Hallelujah. And you can't keep track. Hey, tell him.
Colin, you have the ears of the opposition. Make the man them know, say, no, left your parliament, have one debate, go out in the public, go speak on it.
Yeah, man.
Because if they don't do that, the Jamaican people are weird. They're going to push it through, and the money they go good. And you see, he set it up, that's nobody not go to prison, you know, so nobody else can hold them accountable.
The man put together the get out of jail free card. Oh my God.
me don't have no extra, me don't have no extra money to pay in taxes, to pay back man. Where man will thief my money, you know. They thief enough already, you know, so.
But the man I make certain say when they thief this, nobody can go to jail. Little more, brother.
Yeah, man, good.
Right. Raleigh, you ever hear anything like this?
No, sir, that's madness.
Yeah?
Too important a thing to allow it to go like that. Madness.
And that's what the leader of opposition was saying. The bill is too important for you to limit me. Allow me to speak, to go through the clause. I am dealing with it clause by clause.
That can't work, man.
But Raleigh, we there you're talking about, hold on the caller, we are talking about the $3.6 billion. That's why the man them not spend no night. All of that.
Wait for that.
Because NARA can do any project, you know. It's not just about the rebuilding of hurricane ravaged place, you know. Anything, any project where NARA see, NARA can do it, you know. NARA now have to go through cabinet, you know.
Okay. No, man, you can't allow that for it, man. Can't allow that for it. That can't work.
Make we take a call.
That cannot work.
Yes, caller. Oh, you call already?
No, me never called before. First, me I called for this evening.
All right, go along with it. Go in night.
Listen, man, Colin, me know
say it's the laugh, the way I laugh is not a real one, you know. It's
No.
is one that is like you scared out of your mind when you hear this man plan when put up there, you know.
Me no want cry, so me laugh.
Yes, Colin, you need to speak it though. Speak it. None of we people them now go sit down with no rum and boomers, yellow skin out and all that. You know, Uncle Ralston, may I beg you. Me know say you see that it happen already, but we have to kibosh it because what we speak into existence is powerful. With your talk and your caliber and the integrity that you stand on, may I beg you, Uncle Ralston, we see it already, but may I beg you to speak it positive and the powerful for what? Progress in a Jamaica and the Jamaican people and the air we cover with. Colin, please, may I beg you, not talk like that. Because when we are here in a parliament, and you tell we say no, we need majority where we be in there is 28 and them are 33 or 34, then can push it through. Colin, Almighty Father God, me have to go down in a fasting and prayer going forward because it must not come to pass. Have a good evening.
Thank you, Mama.
Okay.
Go ahead, Raleigh.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is the first time we have borrowed so much money. We can't have a framework that lacks accountability to deal with this money because we do end up back in slavery. Simple, our children and grandchildren.
The accountability is the Prime Minister whose statutory filing cannot be certified for the last 4 years.
Just like how Donald Trump said about the accountability to the world. Them things they can't work, man. That's the same kind of playbook. That can't work.
Or we going to stop it, Raleigh?
Well, as the lady said and as the man said before, the opposition have to go up on the road and mobilize the people, explain to the people, and explain what will happen to them if them allow this to go through based on previous experience. It can't be just a parliamentary thing. This thing, I think that the people need education on in a very simple way so that they understand this is the biggest amount of money we ever borrowed in our lives.
And we can't squander it.
No, that's the point. And based on the mechanism that is being set up, it looked like squander money. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
so
then, hold on. And here the next part. Anybody Nara give a contract. Anybody we are going to work with Nara. All those names have to go to cabinet first. The cabinet vet it. So there will be political victimization.
Yeah, man. Clearly.
And the man them put that in the Nara to ensure that anybody with them not think in bed with them and is aligned to them can't get no work out of the Nara.
I remember all Jamaicans have to pay back the money that I borrowed. All Jamaicans.
All who not born yet going to have to pay it.
Yeah, man. I mean, that is offensive. Yeah, that is
it's
outrageous.
Offensive and disrespectful.
Oh, yeah, man. Come on, outrageous. Man.
Who never listen to the opposition leader contribution to this debate need to go listen to it.
Yeah,
I say
Isaac
is still on his feet. Damian Crawford, Peter Bunting, they all spoke. I didn't hear much of what they said. Listen to some of what Damian said. But I listened to the entire thing from the leader of the opposition. And he went clause by clause. When Juliet can't take it no more, she stop him. And they had to insist. Even the House leader had to insist that he get some more time. The opposition leader was so upset because he was saying that a bill of this magnitude and importance, you can't limit me time.
The future of the country rests on it. This generation, the next generation, and the generation after. Yeah, so remember, this is big money. Yeah?
Nara, I got the roads, and not just the hurricane recovery Nara deal with, Anything with them see fit. And our cabinet see fit.
Who chose the project?
Nara.
Who chose the project?
Nara.
Okay.
And our cabinet choose the project and Nara deliver it. And Nara do everything led by the Prime Minister.
No, man, that can't.
Caller, good evening. Welcome.
Evening, Colin.
Yes, sir.
I'm Mr. Raleigh.
Yeah, man, blessings, sir.
What happened to the Prime Minister case?
We don't know.
We're not hearing anything about it.
Need to ask. Need to ask
That done.
when. You're not done, Raleigh.
No. What I mean,
It's not going away.
it's done.
Yeah.
Not gonna work. That mean, yeah,
Me understand you. But so what happened to his statutory filing that's supposed to be a summary of it is supposed to be published every
that
year?
not gonna work. You nobody talk about it. When I see it from the Integrity Commission.
Where you say then lock down the Integrity Commission?
Yeah, man. That not gonna work. Not gonna work.
Carla, we don't know. That is a truthful answer.
Yeah, for boycott the bill, you know. If I boycott that thing there in the parliament, I will find a way that it's not going to show.
Well, Peter Bunting said we mustn't support it in its present form.
Yeah, man, if it is structured that way, it
Prime
can't
Minister can't have so much ministry under film portfolio.
And I take more. I'm taking the now.
Yeah, man,
No,
that's
man,
a whole
that's
back
supposed
country.
to,
That's
that's
a big
supposed to be
battle.
that against the Constitution.
I don't know if it's against the Constitution, but it is morally it is not good.
Need to
Economically,
have the
it makes
opposition and
sense.
think about it. I need to ask them to let them go.
Ah, boy.
It doesn't
And
make
it can
economic
be.
sense neither, man. Inefficiency. Yeah.
And if this bill passes, you know, we need to let the RGD, the Auditor General,
There's nothing bill in it.
can
Hold on.
investigate it.
There's nothing bill in it for an internal audit either, you know.
See, there are a lot of red flag.
There's no report mechanism built
No,
in it
man, that's
either.
ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous, man. That's ridiculous. I joke business.
Now, man, you have to listen to the
See,
opposition
you don't have
leader. Man.
nobody.
Yeah, man. No, man.
You don't have no money watcher.
No money watch on night.
No, but we need that, man. We need that.
Yes, sir.
At least we need somebody. We need a body to watch all the money, man.
Yeah, man. Madness, that, man. Okay. That's unworking, man.
Them thing bad. Incompetent government, man. Bad government. They do everything for
Yeah, man.
themselves. And we need to find a way to get out the wife out of the parliament.
Raleigh, is Jamaica a failed state or a failing state?
Failing.
It's a failing state.
Yeah, man.
My God, my God. Why have thou forsaken us?
Not so
Something that
much
can't
power.
work, man.
Or I think like an important bill where everybody have a say, you know, give them limited time. And then you cut them off.
Oh, but then you cut off the leader of the opposition responding to a
Yeah.
bill brought by the Prime Minister.
That's disrespectful.
You must give the people them time to finish what they had to say, man. You should not give them a limited time. Where them a go?
That's disrespectful.
Them things they be changed.
Yeah, but without greater demands for accountability from the public, them things now changing, Akon.
Yeah, man. That is the
So as
problem
long
in
as
the
the
rally.
public-
The
Yeah, man.
public.
Yeah, man. As long-
Because look on the cap on fuel. We
By the
came
way,
out.
tomorrow is the next Petrojam price setting day.
Yes.
What is going to happen tomorrow?
So they're
Because
going to
the
set
minister
it
said
tomorrow
can-
and it's going to happen Thursday.
Okay, that's the point. Yeah.
We
So
come
tomorrow
out
is a
and we
big
made
day.
it clear. Call Jamaica to
Mhm.
order. Speak out.
Mhm.
The government must not increase the cap. And we get 2 bunks on the news. You hear anything from anybody else, Raleigh?
No.
Nobody
And
else
remember-
not say nothing.
Yep. And remember, West Texas, the American oil, which we buy, closed at $90 today. British oil closed at $98 because the Iranians said they're not going to Pakistan tomorrow. So there's a strong probability of the war continuing. Trump said extend the ceasefire indefinitely. So Stocks tumbled today, crude oil prices climbed, and interest rates climbed today. So this thing is becoming more protracted. So let's see if them really are going to raise the price of gasoline by more than $4.50 tomorrow. Because that's going to have a big negative impact on the economy.
If gasoline go up by $4.50 tomorrow, Raleigh, the maximum, the original cap, what would that be doing to the economy?
That will keep us the inflation and everything accelerating. If them go above that, it is going to accelerate inflation even faster.
And I am just
Bank of Jamaica planning to mop up 28 billion tomorrow.
But this mopping up, when it going to stop, Raleigh?
It's not going to stop as long as inflation continues to climb. So it is not going to stop.
So when we're going to start some real investment in the Jamaican economy and the people of Jamaica?
That's the point I'm making to you. As long as the inflation rate continues to tick up rapidly, then the BOJ is going to continue to keep interest rates high and they're going to mop up liquidity. And that is why it is important that we keep the rate of inflation down. And that is why it is important that we don't see these fuel price increases of $6 and $8 and $10 because that's a major driver of inflation.
But speak to those people who are saying that if the government buy the gas there, it have to sell back there.
No, but what I understand is that when the government buy the gas there, the government collect more taxes from the gasoline. There's a thing that we call the ad valorem tax. So at $62 per barrel, they were projecting to collect $46.5 billion. At an average price of $100 per barrel, we're looking at $65 to $70 billion. So the people understand how the market works. That is how the market works.
So the government had planned to collect $40 billion from the taxes that they have on gas. And just like we normally explain, 15% for GCT on, let's say, Antowil, right? Antowil costs $100. 15% GCT is $15. But if Antowil go to $200, the 15% GCT turn $30.
$30, yeah, man.
Yeah.
Same way, sir.
So it is same way. The fact that the gas prices go up, the money where the government, the taxes go up and the government is collecting more taxes. So then they're collecting nearly another 25% more than they projected to collect on the taxes of gas.
Precisely. The $46 billion was based on $62 per barrel. We're now averaging $100 per barrel.
And that's why we have said the government can still stay at the present cap of $4.50.
Yeah, man. And remember, they still have the $3.2 billion available.
So when Faval say the government can deal with it, they really can deal with it.
Of course. The mistake she made was to say at whatever price, because no government in the world can deal with oil price at whatever price.
At whatever price.
That is why the Donald wants an off-ramp by extending the ceasefire, because the price of gasoline is having a negative impact on U.S. consumers. U.S. consumers are far richer than Jamaican consumers.
Yes.
And they are squealing to pay $4 per gallon for gas. And that is why Donald is under so much pressure to end the war.
Let's go back to the caller. Caller.
Yes, Mr. Bell. The cap thing, remember say government now go do that, because remember saying say can't stomach 11 billion. The government can't stomach that the money there. So if you go stomach more.
So the people can stomach increase of $8 per litre and $9 and $15 per litre upon gas at one go.
Remember
respect the people them, so
but remember
people have
the
put everything,
increase. Remember, it's not only the gas that will increase now. The food will increase, the taxi fare will increase, the bus fare will increase, the light bill will increase, the water bill will increase, the cable bill will increase. on the same salary. So you get poorer. And the economy gets into a deeper slump. And the people them start fight at home, the husband and the wife got money short. The man in the community start rob more people, some more work for the police. It has a snowballing effect right through the economy.
And Richard Pandu will tell us that food price is going to increase between 2 and 8%. That might now become 4 and 16%.
Precisely, and the fertilizer prices are going up to and all of that. Yep.
Wrap up, caller.
Everything I go up already from forever. Since everything I go up, the things they never stop raising. Worse, I know. All right, my boss. That class.
Yes, man. Respect and thanks for the call. 1-876-804-7072. Jamaicans are too silent, and therefore we are going to get more than what we bargained for. We are more. Hello, good evening. Welcome to the Colin Bell Show. We have Raleigh on the line. Go ahead.
Yeah, evening, Raleigh. I don't know if you remember a couple months ago when the Prime Minister went up to US speaking to Young Jamaica. He made a statement that we should not look for the current crop of politicians to stamp out corruption. To stamp out corruption is a responsibility of the next generation of politicians. No, and then he go on to say something like this, that we can't legislate corruption in this country.
You see, I remember that. You remember that, Raleigh?
Yeah, man. He was speaking to Young Jamaica, the JLP.
Okay.
I was looking for the clip, but I can't find it.
No, we need to find that clip. I have to hear that clip there.
And he said that so when I hear the Mark Golden debunking the Naira bill, I realize what happened is that he's setting up something that him can scrape as much as he want. Him not do not try and curb corruption because this sound like it's a corrupt bill.
It is.
Yeah.
It is a bill designed to rob the Jamaican people and to ensure that even if you caught them robbing, nobody can go to prison.
Yeah. That's untenable, man. That can't work, man.
Colin, Maga, continue look for the clip. You have a number. As soon as I find it, Maga send it to you.
Please and thanks. I'd love to see that clip. That this present crop of politicians cannot legislate corruption and they can't stamp it out. You have to look to the next crop.
Yeah.
No, man. Prime Minister couldn't say
because
that.
I remember it, and the reason why I remember it because I was upset when my ear made that statement.
Then if your Prime Minister made that statement, you're almost mad.
Yeah.
Upset is an understatement.
So, I look for it and say, as soon as we find it, I go send it to you.
Thanks. Wouldn't you love to hear that, Raleigh?
Yeah, man, but I say all kind of things because last week he was speaking at the function that I'm to the NHD.
Yeah.
And him said that it is the poor planning and execution of infrastructure projects that are causing the traffic jams that are impacting negatively on productivity. But who in charge of the infrastructure project?
Know him?
All right. So
yeah, but the man tell me all the while him basically tell me saying feel, you know. I remember when he came to the parliament and he mentioned the earthquake in Haiti and the earthquake in Chile. And say it was poor infrastructure that caused that. He has been prime minister for 10 years, and where is the infrastructure that he built?
That's the point, yeah, man.
Go ahead, caller.
Good night, Colin.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir, loud and clear.
Is it okay if I move away from this subject for a bit?
Yeah, man.
Okay?
Yeah, man. Talk it out, man.
The IDF playbook. I think the police force is using the IDF playbook, you know, and killing people down there, you know. I mean, you know, they behave just like the way the IDF soldiers behave to the public also, you know. You know, I mean, I watch a few clips on some YouTube, and the way the police are behaving to the people, you know, running them away, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it to me is definitely the IDF playbook, and based on what I heard, that the Israeli soldiers, the Israeli force had trained the police in Jamaica, you know what I mean, and it doesn't look good.
We hear that argument. We don't know if it's true yet. We're trying to find that out to get something on that. Nicky Boo, good evening. Good evening, brother Palmer.
Yeah, but
Carla, good evening.
But Colin, if you look at the behavior of the police, that they see what the IDF soldiers behaving in Israel, you know what I mean, they you know what I mean, they just go in and just kill people. You know what I mean?
Hold on there. Raleigh, you're trying to come in?
Yeah, I was saying it is plausible. The call is correct when you look at how the IDF behaves in Lebanon and in Gaza. It is plausible. Yeah, man.
And you hear the Minister of National Security defending everything today.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's plausible.
Yeah, it be just idea soldiers, you know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
And the point is that the taxpayers have paid for cameras.
Hold on, Carla. Where's the Raleigh?
I said the caller is on to something. You know that man them killed 38,000 women and children in Gaza in a 1 year period.
Yeah, man.
Last week them killed over 400 people in 10 minutes.
And
so them are here for true. And
they don't care.
There are certain similarities. That's true, man. It's true.
And when you find the administration telling people that the police them no need for wearing a camera up on special operation, then it means that they have something to hide.
Yeah, man. So like Israel Katz, the Israeli defense minister. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Go ahead, Carla.
Yes, Colin, that is totally the IDF training, Colin. You know what I mean? Anyway, I'm not going to say, you know, I mean, but, you know, we need to look at it.
Yes, definitely. Raleigh, what is going to happen with the salary negotiations that are to come that have not yet been completed?
Well, the public sector workers are saying, the unions representing the public sector workers, they are saying they are not going to take any 2%. And that was one of the problems that the fiscal commissioner had with the budget in terms of its credibility, because he was asking how could they project 555 billion for salaries and 43 billion for the contingencies when there was no agreement between the government and the public sector workers. So what we're going to see is that is going to be a problem given the increases in the cost of living.
Oh, this will be a revelation.
Yeah, man. We just need to step back and exercise more humility and cast a proper budget for dealing with the situation and stop the foolishness. Put Jamaica first. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, man. Stop the nonsense.
Obi.
Colin, good afternoon. Raleigh Wagwan.
Yes, Obi. Yeah, man.
Listen, let's start at this point. I believe one of the first problems that we probably have is I don't think the parliamentarians themselves understand these issues. And I'm serious. I think a number of them who sit in the parliament don't even understand what is going on. Because they could not sit in the parliament and really understand what is going on and sit and just there like logs in some cases. I really don't believe a number of them understand what is taking place. I really don't believe a number of them understand the nuances that we discussed, for example, with the oil situation and so on, the ad valorem tax and all of these sort of things, and basically tying the whole thing with the edge. And because I can't see how 63 people sit in the parliament and basically supporting, well, call it 62, and supporting the prime minister, or 61, supporting the prime minister and Darrell Vaz with this damn nonsense and not really and truly being much more vociferous and out there defending their constituents. Because it is not Andrew Walden send them to Parliament. It's their constituents that send them to Parliament. When I listen to them, when I listen to people in the United States Congress or whatever, they talk about their constituents, talk about House, they talk about the people of their constituents that send them there, and they're batting on behalf of their people. Who are these parliamentarians batting on behalf of? Are you hearing them?
The Jamaica Labour Party. The party.
Party. It's party. Not the people of Jamaica.
So
One
I
reason.
really don't understand. And sometimes believe me, I get a little bit weird because, as you said, the I here is yourself, Raleigh, Colin, and I. We are the three voices that really out there trying to explain this thing to the people and basically being, pushing as hard as we can. And the people themselves have to really bring themselves into the midst. The people have to start to hear about themselves, Papa.
Yeah, man, it's true, man. And stop using them and weed and things like that can, yeah, man. True.
That can't solve none of the problems.
This is going on. I am livid. Yeah. I am livid. There is no way that it's supposed to be normal tomorrow. Because as you correctly pointed out, Raleigh, we got it from early in the piece. I think Monday morning. Was it? No, from last week. Last week I read it in my paper report on air. I read it where it has confirmed that, listen, Petrodram got the green. This was exactly the headline. Petrodram get green light, right, in order to push above 450. And this is coming. This will come into effect Wednesday of this week. That is tomorrow.
That is tomorrow.
Tomorrow, right? So as I like to say, this is a punkas, brother.
But Obi, Raleigh, Prime Minister is sitting in the Parliament right now. He has still not yet spoken to the nation as it relates to the war in the Middle East and what will become of Jamaicans, how we will survive this,
All right. So tell me now, how could a self-respecting country accept that? Keir Starmer has addressed the British Parliament over and over and over. Friedrich Merz from Germany has addressed his people over and over and over. The Dalai get a tweet from him like every 2 minutes. The Iranians have been addressing their people. The people in India, the people in Asia. Jamaica is an outlier. How can the Jamaican people, as a self-respecting people, accept that? 8 weeks into the war affecting the country, and no statement from the chief executive officer as to the impact and what they are going to do to cushion the impact. Jamaican people have no self-respect.
None at all. None at all. Yeah, it's not just the parliamentarian don't understand, Obi. It's Jamaican people.
You're correct. You're correct. Yeah, let's not save them, because sometimes it's like I said to a man, and I'm quite respectful in what I'm saying, but it's just an analogy I'm using. If I meet a man on the street who is a quote-unquote handcart pusher, I have every patience in the world to basically walk him through everything, because I take it on the surface that he's probably a little bit locked in knowledge and so on as it relates to certain matters. But when I'm talking to somebody at a particular level, I don't expect to be basically having that basic discussion with him. I'm making the point to say that, listen, we would expect certain bodies to be up on this. Academia, leaders of the church would expect civil society, all the groups within civil society who are headed by people who are well endowed educationally and so on, would expect all the private sector not to just basically play in politics, but to recognize that the wider constituents that they serve
Let me tell you something,
are
Obi.
basically crippling at this. And so I would expect those people to understand what is happening, Raleigh, sorry, and Colin, and really weigh
Let me
in
tell you something.
and all of this.
Hold on. And I want the presenter coming up after me on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4 to look for a song named Harry Hippie. You know the song, Obi?
Yeah.
Harry Hippie and Mary Hippie.
Yeah.
How can I help you off the ground when you're rather sleeping on the ground?
Sorry, Harry.
Sorry, Harry.
You're too little to carry.
Yes, the Jamaican people coming like them prefer lay down in the mud and make Andrew Holness and him team walk on them.
And it begs the question, Colin and Raleigh. Because what is happening? What Kool-Aid has the Holness, as Andrew Holness and the administration fed the people with? Because I guarantee you that had it been a PNP administration in power, we would not see the end of it. We had glimpse of this when the JLP was last in opposition. Right? Yeah, when simple things such as people were taken out of the sun in Sparling, a community that I am very, very close to as a man who used to have a pass there to go come call and knocks and things like that. We understand what was happening there. And we know the people were in sun. The man basically built some stalls. And what happened? The man them said they're not sit down in the parliament, they're not this and they're not that. Richard Azan wasn't meeting out any ill to the people. Richard wasn't impact the economy. Richard wasn't impact the wider community in a negative way.
You forget how the man them deal. You forget how the man them deal with traffic who would never cost the country a penny.
You understand? How they dealt with Fergie. Dr. Ferguson.
Yes.
I mean, come on, man. So, but you know the difference, and I'm going to say the difference, right? The difference is that the then opposition leader, Andrew Holness, he mobilized people behind him. So I don't know, and I'm not here accusing Mark, but I'm saying that I'm asking the question. Are we seeing that level of mobilization coming from the opposition?
Well, I believe it's time. I believe it's time for mobilization. I believe it's time for the opposition to call the troops together because this government must do better. They were chosen at the poll to lead. They must do better. They're not managing. Not managing. Anyway, Obi.
This, Colin, and let's Raleigh made the point very, very, very clear. It is simple. The government, by virtue of the ad valorem tax, raking in much more than they had basically planned for. Therefore, it is almost a no-brainer that you would expect them to absorb and to give people some kind of a break. We are seeing this happening across the globe. We are seeing this happening across Asia. We are seeing it happening across Latin America. We are seeing this happening right here within the Caribbean.
Yeah,
so
man,
what happened? We're children of lesser God? We're children of a lesser God?
Anyway, Obi, you're up on the line with everybody I call, so we'll take some more call here.
My brother and friend. Respect. Raleigh, take it easy.
Yeah, man.
Raleigh, how do we get out of this conundrum?
Well, as I say, the people have to demand the elections are done as the man until the September 3rd gone.
Yes.
So the only thing that the people have right now is to demand a greater level of accountability until the next occasion comes along. There's nothing else. The people can't just drink rum and boom and listen to dancehall music and smoke weed and just say, yo, no better no day. And we just accept that because every minute you miss, you're pushing your children, your grandchildren into further poverty.
Yes.
When the government does that, it's not that they are doing the people any favor. all the leaders in the world, why you think Trump is seeking an off ramp? Inflation and the cost of living. So every leader in the world knows that if they allow inflation to accelerate and the people's living standard to drop, they're going to be in big problems. Yeah. So it's not a favor they're doing to people. It's good economic management.
Why nobody else is calling on the Prime Minister to speak on the war? What the effects going to be on Jamaica and how we're going to navigate? What is this? I don't understand this.
I don't know. What happened to the leadership of the PSOJ? What happened to the leadership of the JMA? What happened to the leadership of the trade union movement? Jamaica Chamber of Commerce. Yeah? University of the West Indies, University of Technology, Northern Caribbean University. Yeah. Yeah. What happened to those people?
My God. So none of them don't think that it is high time that we get a policy direction from the government on this?
Well, clearly not, because nobody's calling.
Well, Darrell gave the direction. Lock them down like COVID, Darrell. Lock down them backside.
Okay.
Lock them down, COVID style. When I drive too much, cut down the aisle bill, lock them down. Because nobody not care.
Okay, all right.
No better not there.
Okay.
It's one man come with the idea. Nobody else not say nothing. So I guess he's the de facto prime minister or finance minister.
Yeah, a combination of both.
If we continue to mop up liquidity, where is the investment that Fairval Williams said the private sector going to drive? Why the private sector going to invest money when the government is giving them safe interest rate on their money?
There'll be none. They'll just continue to do that.
Jamaica is in trouble, Raleigh. Anything you want to add finally before I let you go, my brother?
Well, as I said, tomorrow is a big day, and the government has to make a decision whether it wants to continue to inflate the economy and to push it into a recession, make the people's life harder, create more problems for themselves in terms of managing crime and in terms of the ministry that Bob's Greens holds in terms of domestic violence and abuse and all of those things, because economics drive a whole lot of those things. People don't have enough money, the quarrel start in the household and you don't know what happened. Similarly on the corner again, a man I say, boy, if I dirt, but him have to eat food.
Yes.
All of those things. So it is a stupid policy for the government to collect more revenues and push the burden on the people and to push the economy into a deeper slump. So again, we advise them not to do it. It's bad policy.
And the people who are just trying to come back from Hurricane Beryl and Hurricane Melissa, some of them still living in schools.
Yeah, man. I remember the minister says that only 43,000 of them have been assessed already. 70,000 leave.
Yes.
So those people are going to be in serious problems because they're already destitute.
And what they are giving them
is only going to increase.
What they are giving them cannot prepare them for the hurricane season that starts in June.
Precisely.
1 month and little from now, the hurricane season start. They are, as the minister told us, 70,000 people out there when not get nothing yet, who are in need of something.
Yep.
What the
and them have to wait. And them have to wait. And them have to wait until the supplementary budget comes. So it's a problem. So all the cost of living increases are coming to them at a time when they're already destitute. By the time they get assistance, them drown. So yeah, so that's madness.
And the government have put on more taxes upon them as well.
Precisely.
$18 billion worth of it.
Yeah, and then the extra that they're collecting from the oil bill and all of those things. It doesn't make any economic sense. No sense whatsoever.
The government not governing.
No. And the people not holding them accountable.
Little more, brother. We talk tomorrow.
All right, brother. That's it. Yeah, man. Cool. Yeah, man.
Listeners and viewers, top economist, #1 financial analyst, Ralston I am, and the man will look at the data. Jamaica is in trouble Brother Gary have money for send come to Jamaica because the people are going to need it. People are going to need it, Sister Babette. Brother Palmer, the people are going to need it. Since the war started, over $30 per liter have been added to gasoline price at the pump. There used to be a cap of $4.50, meaning that gasoline cannot increase by more than $4.50 per liter each week. $4.50 per liter, that's $18 a gallon. $18 going on to each gallon every week. $18 Jamaican divide by 160. $18 per liter. No, $18 a gallon. That means 11 cents going on a gallon every week, 11 cents US. And then the government don't agree with us when we said no to the increase in the cap. We don't hear the people joining the chorus to say to the government, do not increase the cap. Let me thank Ralston Iman for spending some time with us this evening. Thanks to you, the listeners on Caribbean Radio 97.9 HD4 as we come to you from the studios of Portland Spice TV. That's my YouTube channel. If you have not yet subscribed, I invite you to subscribe, like, and share. Real Mobia, good evening to you. Kotipang, good evening. And I'm asking the presenter coming after me, play Harry Hippie by Bobby Womack. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's sad, my people. But you can lead the donkey or the mule or the horse to the water, but you can't force him to drink. So we have come out and we said to the government, do not increase the cap on gas. Somebody messaged me in the chat room yesterday, said Darrell Vaz say, me a political activist. Just like all of us, Darrell, just like you, who is a political activist yourself. But I am a political activist with a vision, with a love for the people, and a patriotic Jamaican, with no intention to rip off my country. But to continue to lead the people down the wrong path, squander the money, use $1.4 billion to buy a whole bus. Watch the clown them. But them a beat decks. May the good Lord continue to bless and keep you all. Make his face shine upon you and be gracious unto you. The Lord lift up his light and give you his peace. Until we meet tomorrow evening for the Colin Bell Show. Peace be with you.
Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Tell them to try pre-we, big up Portland Spice TV. Remember to subscribe. See, Portland Spice TV, Louis Culture said it once and I say it again. Portland Spice TV. We are going to hold them and pop it off. Bogus batch where we rip off. Subscribe, share, Portland